Good morning, Internet, and thank you for tuning into Alan's Bonsai. I just did a video where I chopped 4 Portulacaria jade back, and they were all in exactly the same pot. And it was a blue concave mame pot, shohin pot. And so I picked 4 more out of the bench because in that video I explained that I have a whole bunch of these that are just so far overgrown. And these are all in exactly the same pot except they're green instead of blue. So go figure, huh? Like I said, I bought 100 of these or more for 75 cents. The pots about 30 years ago. And in the same vein as the last video, we're just going to do some real rapid fire cutting back. So we've got an eye poking branch, we're going to cut him away. And then the main branches just need to be reduced. Just too much growth. Too much growth. I'm going to cut him off entirely. And this is a rather straight tree, and I don't really grow straight trees. I like movement, I like motion. And there is a possibility that I could do this and make that the apex. It would increase the amount of time before the tree was finished off because the thickness of this is so thin compared to this guy, and you normally want visually you want a transition. But I'm thinking about that. Right now we're just doing the cutback. And some of these guys, if I am going to keep this as the apex, or even this as the apex, they still all need to be cut back, you know, wired into place. So right now, it's just a quickie cutback. Quickie cutback. Sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this the apex, so I'm going to do him off like that too. It's got some decent potential. I get so lazy and I just, oh man, just haven't worked on these trees. So now that I've got you watching, I'm going to be a lot more conscientious because I'm going to be adding updates to these trees every time they require some more work. I will show you how they've evolved and progressed. So here's another one. Got some pretty interesting trunk line and some decent branching, but everything, I'm not sure why I'm keeping this guy. Not sure why I'm keeping any of this actually. It could just come off completely. First branch, second branch. This could come off completely, but for now, I'm going to squeeze back in there. I suppose we could consider this a sacrifice branch, and if I did sever this, because it's got some branching, it would make a pretty cool little tree just sort of instantaneously. And just keep cutting back. Back branch, apex. And remember that whenever you cut a branch, that's where the new growth is going to begin. So the further you cut back, sometimes your tree can look like a real stub, but that creates more ramification. You want your branching, sort of like this guy, came out twice, and then it cut here, came out twice. So if you leave them like I have, and I'm guilty of it, have to admit, then you don't get that ramification. So from now on, when it begins to grow, I will keep pinching it out and get much more ramification, have much better pad development. So that's my goal, but I think that's a pretty cool little tree actually. Number 3. Once again, all in the same pot. Uncanny. And is this the front or is this the front? I think this might be the front. because we have a nice back branch right here. We've also got this very funky branch that's just hanging on by a thread. So we'll deal with him when we get to it. But if this is the front and this is the first main branch, it needs to be wired forward. But in this video, we're just cutting it back. I mean, look at how long this stuff is. I'm almost embarrassed. But hey, at least I'm showing you, right? And what I truly believe is that over time, these guys are really going to develop now. Because they're pretty old trees. I think you can tell that they have a certain amount of age. And I don't really keep good records, so I'm really not sure. I think I'm going to do this as the apex. Well, it is a slanting trunk, so I could do this as the apex. Right now I'm just going to cut them all back pretty much equally, and then I can decide that at a later date. This funky branch is just hanging on by a thread. I think he's going to come off. And I'm also going to cut him. And this is a bar branch with this one, and since this one's already been stubbed out, I think I'm just going to take him off completely. Okay. Another pretty nice tree that was just way overgrown. And then, last but not least, this one's a little funky. Let me get rid of the cuttings from the other guys. This guy's a little funky. Because as you can see, the apex takes a sharp right. So first order of business, let's cut back the main branches. You see this branch here coming all the way to here. I'm just going to take that all off and then just shorten the smaller growth. And this guy is the same way. Yay! And this branch here actually has most of it growing backwards, which certainly isn't optimum. But for now I'm just going to cut it back. You know, for me, bonsai is always evolving, always changing, always developing. So what you see now, today, may not be what it looks like even in a year or two, and could be very different to what you see in 5 years, because that's just the nature of bonsai. So now, see, this could be the apex, bring it up into here, and accentuate that weird swoop, or this could be the apex, and just make this the main branch. So, once again, I'm not going to make that decision right now. I'm just going to cut them back. I can always decide later. If you have a preference on any of these trees, you know, tree number 1, 2, 3, 4, if you think tree number 4 should be even funkier, and maybe even remove this guy, like that, and make him way out here, ooh, swoop like that, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Or it could be, you know, it would still have the strange little swoop, but this apex would make it less drastic. So let me know what you think in the comments about any of these trees. If you think I should have, you know, I had another one that I saved 2 as the apex. Let me know what you think. So that's it for this video. Super rapid fire. And they're all going to get, just like the other 4, they're all going to get a little touch of fertilizer. And you can see they all have really nice moss. Most of them. Here's another one. Has very nice moss. And I just let the moss grow. I don't really ever promote moss. It just shows up. And I may actually do an entire video on moss. So now I've got everything all jumbled around. How about I just stick them all? Like that. There you go. There's 4 more. So now I've done 8, and I've got about 100 more to go. Oh, I've got so many of these. So please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you can watch these babies develop over time. And leave a comment. And I really appreciate you watching my channel. And I will see you in the next video.